Are you new to Canada or you're simply looking to buy your first home in Canada? Today, I'll take you through 4 requirements that you would need to buy your home in Canada. Hello, my name is Winifred Ogugo and I'm a licensed real estate agent in Ontario. One of the major decisions that you will ever make in your life is buying a home. It's similar to like getting married. It's a very major life-changing decision. Having kids is a huge financial investment, and sometimes it could be very stressful making that decision even as an individual or a family. Well, that's why I want to get you more prepared for this. I want to help you. So no matter where you are in this journey, it's a very demanding and sometimes draining process to even think about buying a home, especially in Canada. The average selling price for a property in Canada is about $600,000, and even that number alone sometimes can be very scary to many people. But there are easy things that you can put in place that will help you prepare for this. One of the things that you need to be aware of is that there are 4 major requirements that you have to buy a home in Canada. If you're a new immigrant to Canada, you probably don't know a lot about this requirement, or if you've heard about them before, you probably don't really know what it entails or what it means for you. So I'll take you through these 4 major requirements, and I'll also explain in detail, or as much as I can, what it means and the things that you can do to get you more prepared to buy your first home in Canada. All right, requirement number 1, your down payment. Now, in Canada, you can actually buy your first home with 5% down. You know, it's easy. This is the things that the government has put in place to help homeownership dream a reality for a lot of people like me and you. So your down payment is very important. The minimum down payment that you can use to purchase your home in Canada as a first-time home buyer is 5%. And if you're wondering, what does it mean to be a first-time home buyer? A first-time home buyer simply means that you've never owned a home in Canada, number 1. Secondly, if you've owned a home in Canada, it means that you've never lived in a home that you owned in Canada for 4 years or more. If you've lived in a home, or if you bought a property and you used it as an investment property, but you never physically lived in there, you still qualify for first-time home buyer incentives. I know, because a lot of people don't know about this, that if you own an investment property, you might still be able to use your first-time home buyer incentive, which means simply that you can buy a home with 5%. So like I said before, the minimum down payment to buy a home in Canada is 5%. Now take that with a grain of salt, because 5% for the first 500,000. If you're buying a home over 500,000, then it's 5% for the first 500,000 and 10% for anything above 500,000 up to $1 million. So let's take this example. You buy a home for 500,000, 5% is 25,000, right? And that's it. That's what you need as your down payment. But if you buy a home for 600,000, the first 500,000, you put down 5%, which is 25,000. Anything above that, say the home is 600,000, then between the 500 and the 600,000, that's $100,000, right? So that is 10%. That is an additional $10,000. So your total down payment for a home of 600,000 is 35,000. 25,000 for the first 500 and 10,000 for anything above 500. Now that takes you up to $1 million. Now, I'm going to assume that a lot of first-time home buyers are not going to be looking at properties over $1 million, so I'm not going to go into that today. But for this purpose of this video, we're just going to be looking at and assuming that you're buying a home for the first time, and secondly, you're buying a home under $1 million. So that's a simple logic for your down payment. So you need to be invested in your property as well. So that's what minimum investment that you have. And the more investment you have in this, the better for you. Because the more you put down, the less your monthly payments, and you might also avoid CMHC. So now you have your down payments. What next? Okay, so it's time to go into the bank and discuss your mortgage options. The banking is one thing. You can go to like a CIBC or Scotiabank or any of the major bank and ask to speak with a financial advisor. But you need to understand that there are limitations with that, because if you walk into the bank, the financial advisor can only offer you the mortgage product that the bank itself has. So if I go to CIBC, you only be offered the CIBC mortgage. So in my professional experience, and the best approach would be to contact a mortgage broker. The reason for this is that the mortgage broker has a variety of lenders, and that allows you to be more competitive in terms of your negotiation power and to negotiate a better interest rate, because they'll be able to present your profile to a lot of lenders and you get to pick and choose which one you want to go with, as opposed to just walking into a specific financial organization. They just offer you their products, that's it. The importance of getting a pre-approver cannot be overstated. You need to understand what your buying power is, and only a pre-approver can truly tell you what your buying power is. So that would be the second thing that you would need to buy a home in Canada. Okay, so the next thing that you will need is a good real estate team. A good real estate team will consist of a mortgage broker, a real estate agent, and in some cases, a real estate lawyer. Now you can find, if you already have a mortgage broker, you can find a real estate agent separately and you can find a real estate lawyer separately. However, it's always best when you find them together, because they probably have a good working relationship and they get to work in sync to help you with your entire real estate journey, including closing, which in some cases is very, very stressful, especially if you haven't been through the closing process before as a first-time home buyer. Now, if you're looking for a good real estate team and you're thinking about buying a property in Canada or even in the US, you can reach out to me. My contact information will be in the description and also on the screen right here. Anytime you contact me, I can link you up with my friends anywhere in Canada or the US if you're not in Ontario. So that brings me to my fourth point. So the fourth thing that you need is to prepare for your closing costs. Now, this does not apply to all the provinces in Canada, but in Ontario specifically, we usually will recommend to our clients to have between 2% to 4% put aside for your closing. Again, it's a percentage of your purchase amount. If you bought a house for $500,000, 4%, so about $20,000, you should be able to put that aside to use for closing costs. Sometimes there might be some unexpected costs that will arise as a result of your closing that you will have to pay in advance so that you can close. There might be some conditions on your mortgage that you have to fulfill. Some conditions maybe depend on what the mortgage approver is. They might say, okay, in order for you to qualify for a loan of $500,000, we need you to pay X and X and X amounts in your credit cards, so maybe a previous debt that you had or whatever the situation is. Or sometimes I've seen situations whereby people go to the bank and try to borrow money for a mortgage, and the bank will tell them, hey, you have a car loan, you can't have your mortgage and your car loan, so pay off your car loan first before we approve this mortgage. So in those situations, you might need to pay off those car loans from all your credit cards or any debt that you may have from your pocket before your mortgage approval becomes firm. But you have to budget and plan for the closing costs just as much as you're planning for your down payment. So you're probably thinking, okay, is it just down payment, budgeting for my closing costs? I'm probably thinking about, oh, what neighborhood will I like to live in Canada? Actually, all this will not be possible. Actually, you will not even get a pre-approval if you don't have your credit established. So that brings me to the most important thing that you have to consider. And this is not only for home ownership, this is for everything. So you need to build credit. And the earlier you start building credit, the better for you. So establish your credit. If you're new in Canada, when is the right time to start building credit? Today. So you have to have a good credit score. So if you're wondering, okay, what is a good credit score to buy a house or to get a pre-approval? It depends. But the higher the credit is, the better for you. So good credit score, I would say, is about 680 and above. But just for your information, you have to have a credit for over 680 and above to really get a pre-approval for a mortgage and to be more favorable with the banks. If you don't know a lot about credit or what you need or the requirements to build a credit in Canada, don't worry, I have that covered. I'll talk about that in my next video, and you can stay tuned and subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notified when I post that video. If you're also looking to say, okay, how do I save? How much do I need to make to afford the specific amount? So for example, what is the income to afford the home for $500,000 in Canada? I'll also have that covered in another video. So yeah, you want to make sure that you're subscribed to my channel, because another important thing that you need, and of course this is going to play a very major part in your pre-approval process as well, is income. proof of income. You need to prove that you can afford the mortgage. Your job is also very important. So those are the 4 things that you need to buy a home in Canada. And this is very high level, of course. And it's not in any particular order, but you can do all of these things together. You can establish a credit report while you're building your down payments, and also while you're getting a more income or trying to get a full-time job in Canada. And then when you have those 3 things, then you can get your pre-approval. So there's no particular order in the way I went through these 4 things. It's just general information that you need these 4 things to buy a home in Canada. So you have a job, you get a job, make sure that your income is high enough, and you can do side hustles and other things to improve your income, or even have a business and combine the business income with full-time employment income, or have just full-time business income. Of course, there's some caveats to that. You know, your mortgage agent or your real estate team can help you navigate that and tell you what you will need to prove like maybe sole proprietorship income or business income. So like I said, you need a good real estate team. And if you're looking for a good real estate team and you're looking to buy a home in Ontario, I'll put my contact information in the description and on the screen as well. So feel free to contact me. You can also book a one-on-one consultation with me. I'll also put the link in the description below, so you can go ahead and schedule a one-on-one consultation with me. So if you're still here, thank you. Thank you for sticking around with me. I really appreciate it. If you've not already done so, please don't forget to subscribe. I'll be providing very insightful knowledge in my channel that will help you through your home ownership goal. And honestly, it doesn't matter what stage in your journey you're in. You may be a very savvy investor, you may be very new to the game, or be a first-time home buyer. It really doesn't matter. You can subscribe, because I'll provide very insightful knowledge that you can use in your journey to help you improve your real estate investment journey, or to help you get from point A, no home, you're renting right now, to point B, your own home. Right? So that's why I'm here. I'm passionate about this, and I want to see you own your own home and buy your first home in Canada. So thank you so much for watching. Follow me on Instagram and stay connected on YouTube as well. Thank you. Have a good day.